What's good, Josh? Your girl Dosecity. I'm back with another video. If y'all want to get hot, come roll with me. Now, listen, man. We about to react to some crazy stuff, y'all. Like, basically, a Detroit mom helped her son murder his girlfriend, bruh. And we about to just react to the arraignment and all of that, you feel me? But before that, we gonna like kind of break down the case a little bit, you feel me? We're gonna listen to the article a little bit, and then we're gonna react to the video. And it's kind of crazy, bro, because it just popped up on my timeline. You know, young lady was 17 years of age, and it's just nasty work where you can't even trust the mama of the kid that your child is dating. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust the parents. You can't trust nobody these days, bro, because people are just insane. And
London Thomas was last seen on April 5th after her sister dropped her off at her boyfriend's home in Inkster, Michigan. Need to know. London Thomas, 17, went missing on April 5th and her body was discovered by Michigan State Police on April 26th after a tip came in about the location of her body. The individual who provided the tip also provided information which has led to the arrest of London's boyfriend and his mother. Jalen Pendergrass, 23, and his mother Charla are now facing a second-degree murder charge and will make their first court appearance on Friday. Prosecutors in Michigan have announced the arrest of a mother and son in connection with the alleged murder of a teenager who had been missing since April. Jalen Pendergrass, 23, is charged with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence in the death of his 17-year-old girlfriend London Thomas. His mother, Charla Pendergrass, 49, is facing the same two charges for her alleged role in the girl's death. Court records reviewed by People show that a bench warrant was issued for the pair on Wednesday, October 15th, the same day that Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy in her office filed a formal complaint against the mother and son. Thomas was last seen on April 5th after her sister dropped her off at the Pendergrass home in Inkster, Michigan, a city located approximately 15 miles west of Detroit. 3 weeks later, her body was discovered in a plastic bin. That discovery came after police received a tip, which also led to the arrest of the mother and son, according to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. On April 26th, an individual called to report that Charla had contacted him on April 7th to ask if he could move a plastic bin into a vehicle in Southfield, about 15 miles north of Inkster. That individual provided authorities with the name of the street in Southfield where the vehicle had been parked, and soon after, Michigan State Police managed to find the remains and identify them as being those of Thomas. The medical examiner later determined her cause of death to be asphyxia and the manner to be homicide.
Case number 25-1709 and 25-1710, FY People versus Charlotte Pendergrass, People versus Jalen Pendergrass.
And good,
Dominic,
my apologies.
Dominic DeGrazia, P69815 on behalf of the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Terry Johnson, P70773 on behalf of Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass, who is present and stands to my left.
Good morning.
May it please the court, Judge. My name is Adam Clements. My P number is 77233. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Pendergrass. Sir, state your name for the record, please.
Yes, it's
There you go. Stand up.
Good morning, everyone. Alright, this date and time scheduled for arraignment. Do you wish to have the charges read? Mr. Johnson.
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'll waive formal reading on behalf of Ms. Pendergrass, and would like to enter a plea of, ask court to enter a plea of not guilty.
Very well. As to Ms. Pendergrass, the court will enter a plea of not guilty. As to Mr. Jalen Pendergrass.
Your Honor, we waive formal reading and the information as to allow the defendant to stand. We can have a plea of not guilty entered on his behalf at this time.
Alright, court will enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of Mr. Pendergrass. As to bond for Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass.
Your Honor, while I understand that these charges are very serious, I'd like the court to take into consideration the mere fact that this matter... I'm sorry. Oh, Your Honor, I'm sorry, I'm normally used to a prosecutor being in the courtroom. My apologies, Mr. DeGrazzi.
Judge, I ask that there be no bond set for each defendant, or alternatively, a very high cash bond. Regarding Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass, she does not have any criminal history. However, she is charged with second-degree murder. And I think more importantly for bond purposes, this is a case where the evidence, I believe, will be abundant that both defendants, but particularly Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass, engaged in a extended campaign to lie to the police, lie to law enforcement to cover up her actions. She was originally charged with lying to a peace officer, which was later dismissed because an FBI agent is not a peace officer in Michigan. But the point is that Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass, I don't believe, can be trusted to follow the orders of the court. She has shown in the past her willingness to be deceptive, to be untrustworthy, and given the serious nature of these charges and the circumstances behind the actual crime itself, I'm asking that there be no bond for Ms. Charlotte Pendergrass, or alternatively a very high cash bond.
Mr. Johnson, you wish to respond?
I do. Your Honor, I'm just rather shocked that the prosecutor can say that my client is not able to follow court orders. This court is aware Ms. Pendergrass was placed on a bond, a high bond, and Ms. Pendergrass followed all of those bond conditions. Not a single time was there any allegations that she violated or did anything that she should not have done. As a matter of fact, Your Honor, even after the case was dismissed, that was back in August, so about 3 months ago, she's done absolutely nothing. She has nothing to hide. The problem is she didn't cooperate with the police in a manner in which the police wanted her to cooperate. To come forth and say no cash bond, or to say no bond or a very high cash bond is ridiculous. She is not a flight risk. She's been here at every single court event, and I would ask that if the court sets a bond, that it be a reasonable bond. Again, based upon her actions that this court has saw, not the allegations that have been put forth by the people.
And
Would the
Mr.
court like me to address Mr. Jalen Pendergrass, Judge?
In just 1 second, I had just a couple of questions. Where does she work?
She's a caregiver, Your Honor.
Is someone who lives in the home?
No, Your Honor.
This is crazy.
And the address we have for her on Roth, is that the best address?
What street, Your Honor?
Roth. Okay, so if, Mr. Johnson, if you can make sure we have an updated address for her?
I will take care of
If that's
that.
not the correct address. But, the address that is correct, how long has she been there?
Approximately a year, Your Honor. Is this the address out county, outside of Inkster?
Whatever her current home address is, how long has she been associated with her current home address?
Oh, over a year.
Okay. All right, court, in consideration of the charges, in consideration of public safety, and I am concerned about the charges that include tampering with evidence and or allegations of not being cooperative with the police. The court is going to set the bond at $5 million cash. Ma'am, you are not to leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. If you do make bond, you'll be on a GPS tether. You may not be in possession of any weapons, ammunition, drugs, or alcohol, and you can have a seat for the moment. Mr. DeGrazi, as to Mr. Jalen Pendergrass.
Well, obviously, Your Honor, the seriousness of the charges are severe. I would ask for no bond or very high cash bond, but Mr. Pendergrass specifically, he again, like his mother, showed a willingness to lie to the police and to deceive police. But more than that, he is presently charged in Oakland County with making a false report of a felony. He was originally given a tether bond, which was reduced. And since that bond was reduced, it's my understanding that the defendant has recently been arrested under suspicion of operating while intoxicated. Now, it's my understanding he hasn't been charged with that crime, but he said at least has had police contact while he's been on bond in a pending case in Oakland County. So for those reasons, Your Honor, I again ask for no bond or a very high cash bond.
Mr. Clements?
Yes, Judge, what I would say on behalf of Mr. Pendergrass is it's interesting and rich that the prosecutor brings up my client's Oakland County case. A case which I believe undeniably will be dismissed. The reason why my client's bond was decreased in that particular matter is because the case is in fact so weak. But nonetheless, Judge, I'm in a venue where litigation is underway. We have a motion to dismiss that's pending in that regard, and I think that we'll be successful. But I think what's pointed in this particular case is that in that particular matter, my client was placed on a house arrest setting. During that particular time, he never missed court, he never violated any conditions of his bond. But moreover, more importantly, as it relates to this investigation, in this case, when did Mr. Pendergrass ever flee the jurisdiction? When did he ever run from law enforcement? When did he ever refuse to come in and meet with them? And it's news to me that he ever provided any false statements. I'm sure Mr. DeGrazia will give you some discovery to that effect. But I've never seen any of that information to suggest that he's provided any false information to law enforcement. So rather than attack a criminal history, the prosecution is asking the court to look at allegations that didn't even lead to a charge as it relates to an OWI. And that's purposeful. And the reason for that is because my client has no significant criminal history that the prosecution can point to. He's been compliant throughout this entire ordeal. So to somehow suggest that he would be a flight risk when he's never fled or done anything to that effect suggests that he's a flight risk simply because we've decided to charge him after 6 months. So what I'm asking the court to do in this particular matter is to consider the fact that if a defendant is compliant all the way through, retains counsel, and does everything that he's asked to do, at what point do we actually respect the fact that he's presumed innocent? I'm asking the court to set bond in this particular matter at $100,000 cash surety. My client can go on house arrest tether. He's not employable right now. We don't have any objection to him being on house arrest, and he's already demonstrated that he can comply. But more compelling than anything, judges, he's looking forward to having an opportunity to finally have his name cleared. We want the evidence to be brought forth just like everyone else in this, because as of right now, only the prosecution has that evidence. We've never seen anything that suggests that he's broken the law in relationship to the death of London Thomas, or that he's obstructed justice in any way at all. So for those reasons, Judge, I'm asking for a fair and reasonable.
Again, considering the factors that this court must consider in order to set bond or any type of pre-trial release, given the nature of the charges, was Mr. Pendergrass working at or around the time of the incident? And if so, where and how long?
Well, at the time, at what period of time?
Back in April.
Well, he wasn't allowed to work, Judge, once he was charged in Oakland.
Okay. What was he doing before then? Where was he working?
He was not working.
Okay. All right. And so the court is going to remand Mr. Pendergrass, set no bond given the nature of the charges. And we need to set a probable cause conference date. Is everyone available to zoom in for a probable cause conference on the 22nd of October?
What time would that be, Your Honor?
9 a.m.
Yes, Your
I'm
Honor.
sorry, Judge, I didn't catch that date.
October 22nd, 9 a.m. for PCC on Zoom.
On behalf of Ms. Pendergrass, Your Honor, I'm available, or will make myself available.
Mr. Cummings?
I'll make it work.
All right, Mr. Degrassi, you're good with that?
That's fine, Judge.
All right, and, we'll set dates at the next year. We'll set up the exam dates. I was gonna try and see if we could pick exam dates since I have all of you here and everybody's got a calendar.
Oh, I understand, Your Honor. I would hope, once we receive discovery,
Then you'll have a better idea of how we need to schedule.
hopefully I'll get it all this time.
All right. We'll see all parties back on the 22nd, 9 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Young lady, man. 17, dating a 23-year-old. I would say, man, like, as I said, like, innocent until proven guilty, right? But it's one of those things where I hear about parents being enablers, to their children when they're obviously in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? Okay, it says right here that the discovery of a 17-year-old girl's remains inside of a bin in an SUV led authorities to her ex-boyfriend, 23, and his 49-year-old mother, who have been charged with killing the victim and moving her body from Inkster to Southfield, Wayne County. Prosecutors said the victim, London Thomas, was reported missing on April 5th by her sister and on April 6th by her mother. According to the final report, a news release from Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy office said 3 weeks later, police announced that her body was found in Southfield and that 2 suspects were in custody. Charlotte Pendergrass and her son were charged Thursday with connection with Thomas's death. Each defendant faced a second-degree murder charge, which carries up to life in prison, and tampering with evidence, a 10-year felony. Days after the police found Thomas's body, Charlotte Pendergrass of Clawson was arraigned in Inkster, a charge of lying to a peace officer during the violent crime investigation. In August, the charge was dismissed because the person she allegedly lied to was an FBI agent. Under Michigan law, FBI agents aren't considered police officers. The investigation into Thomas's disappearance started April 5th when Thomas's sister, told the police the teen girl had last seen 3 days earlier when she was dropped off at Jalen Pendergrass's house. It is alleged that Jalen Pendergrass and Miss Thomas have been involved in a relationship, but that it had alleged ended at the time she arrived at the house in Inkster. So on April 6th, Thomas' mother reported her missing to the Detroit department. When she did not return home from the Albert Street, she was not seen alive after being at the home. So last place she was seen was at his house, and then you call somebody to help you move the body, and they snitched on him. The evidence shows that defendant Jalen and Charlotte Pendergrass allegedly committed the homicide of Miss London Thompson. The release said the extensive facts and evidence will be presented in court at the preliminary examination. I will say this to conclude the video. R.I.P. to London. She did not deserve this. She was entirely too young to understand the magnitude of what she was dealing with. Dating a older man at 17, right? She's 23. When he was 22, she was 16. When he was 21, she was 15. And that's not okay, right? And then I read in the article that she got dropped off to his house, right? So I'm not sure if her family knew his age, right? But if they did know his age, that means that there was nothing against their relationship, right? And I think that right there is a red flag, right? That's an eye opener. And I think that a lot of people should use this as a lesson for, like, if you have any younger siblings, if you have anybody that, might be doing this in their life, because this happens in our community a lot, where the older man is dating the younger girl, right? She's still in high school, and he's 23, you already out of high school, graduated college at that point, right? Like, so it's just like, that situation should never have been a thing. And I put the blame as well on her family, right? Because I don't really know if they knew, right? If they did know, I'm just saying, if they did know, and I'm not trying to kick them while they're down, right? Like, they just lost a family member. But if they did know this boy's age, man, like, I feel like, pushing back a little bit more, would have been the best thing, right? Like, or also trying to teach your kid that, like, this is not the way. Like, anybody that's trying to date you while you're underage, that's a pedophile, right? So I'm just kind of like, it's just sad, right? It's just sad to see now we lost another teenage girl that could have grown up to change the world. You know what I mean? I get it. Like, there's some people that will go and cover up for their kids. They know that their kids is up to no good. They will sit there and they will make sure, like, that they cover it up for them. You know what I'm saying? Then there's other parents that's gonna, like, just, call the cops, you gotta learn from your mistakes. You feel me? So it's like, put at the bottom what kind of parent you are. You feel me? I want to say my condolences to London's family. This is just sad what happened, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will say, this doesn't look like somebody that would do something like this. Like, you cannot put anything past anybody, man. You just gotta, you gotta stay prayed up, pay attention, and, like, it's just unfortunate, man. And him and his mom will get exactly what they deserve. The mom was looking real sad in court, looking like she regretted her decisions and what she did in the situation to probably save her kid. But it's like, you're basically enabling him, and she probably has enabled him his whole life. You understand? And it's just like, it's just unfortunate, but you know what I mean. But anyways, man, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think, man. Let's get it. Let's go.